From the Clubhouse Lounge in Monticello, Illinois, Ford of Tuscola proudly presents to you the Behind the Mic Show, featuring sports, comedy, and entertainment. Now here's your host, Slingin' Sammy Irwin, and the round mound of sound, Keith Gibson.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Behind the Mic Show. Keith Gibson alongside me, the slinging one, the man who has the arms the size of Hulk Hogan and the brain the size of a peanut. No, I'm kidding. No. Sam Irwin.
Yeah.
No, Sammy, how are you? Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody did. But I know if you're like me and everybody else, you probably ate a little bit, didn't you?
Ooh, too much. I feel a lot better after the stomach pump that I got. Well worth going to the hospital for. But yeah, I ate way too much.
Can you really eat too much, sir?
I can, and I did. And I'm damn near ashamed of myself, but it happened. You know, we move on. That's all you can do. But my mom's a phenomenal cook. I mean, beef and noodles and the pumpkin pie, and I mean, the stuff, it just goes on and on and on. But it was great. You know, family got together a little bit, not too much, a little bit, enjoyed. Nobody got mad. Nobody yelled, screamed away, went to jail.
Hey, that's a win.
For an Irwin holiday, that's a win. Yeah, so Mom was not upset. Then the girls came down, and on Saturday night we went and seen a few lights. Carlisle, Illinois, their park is always nice. It's phenomenal if you ever get the chance. You know, one of these days, but you've got lights up by you, I'm sure. But went and did a little bit of that, and I mean, you know, just good times had by all. What about you?
Did you get your nap?
You're not going to believe this, and nobody who's watching is going to believe this. Around the world, wherever they're at, believe this or not, Keith Gibson, on Thanksgiving Day, I never took one nap. Stayed awake the whole time. Don't know how. Not real sure how that happened, but I stayed awake. That's a record. That's never happened before. How about you? How many naps?
Two.
Okay.
About 15 minutes after we ate, I sat in a recliner, got my feet up. They had the Lions game on. Well, that put me to sleep.
Right.
Well, didn't that or the turkey or the dressing or the potatoes or the noodles or the beef house rolls. I mean, it could have been a combination of all. Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Right. I didn't steer you wrong on the beef house rolls, did I?
No. I got my first nap there, and then later in the evening came home and ate again, and then I took my second nap about 7. And then I went to bed, you know, later on in the evening.
Right.
But
right. And where I'm ashamed of myself most is it's not necessarily Thanksgiving Day. It's the days that follow it with the leftovers. And the
I did good on that. I didn't do that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Ugh.
We didn't bring any leftovers home, and so I was good.
Very good. Yeah, that's the key right there. Because you know what happens the next day? It's turkey sandwiches with mayonnaise, which is one of my favorites. You don't like the mayonnaise with the turkey? No? Boy, that's so good. So good. Miracle Whip.
That's not mayonnaise. That's imitation.
Miracle Whip is the stuff. I'll just look at me, censor myself. Well, yeah. So anyway, but yeah, good times had by all.
Good. We hope all of our listeners and fans had a great Thanksgiving as well. We've got a great show packed for today. No guests. You get us two all night long.
Every woman's dream and every man's nightmare, Keith Gibson. Us all night.
That's
long.
right. Well, usually it's about 30 seconds worth. But hey, who's counting?
The time varies.
Hey, we got a new segment, Sammy, we're going to unveil this week, our top 10. And this week we'll do top 10 worst Chicago Bears draft picks.
So many to choose from.
I'm
not sure how we whittled this down, but I think we've got to find out.
I think we have too. So we'll have that coming up on the show. We'll talk NFL, of course. We'll do our NFL roundup. We'll talk the Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight.
Ooh.
Fight in quotation marks.
Exhibited.
Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll talk the match, Phil and Barkley versus Peyton and Stephen Curry. We'll talk, got choked up just like UK did. Oh, I tell you what, the Wildcats hit, but not the only ones. We'll also talk college basketball, Kentucky falling, and the Illini, and people's expectations maybe getting a little big. Mm-hmm. But we'll get into that. Mm-hmm. And then we'll talk what John Mozeliak and the Cardinals are thinking when they haven't signed Yadier Molina. So we'll get into that later on the show as well. Sammy, of course, we'll have our Bees Trees trivia and our Dumb Criminal of the Week. Mm-hmm. And then who knows what else we'll throw in the middle of it. So stay tuned with us. We've got a big show. We're going to have a fun show. I hope you are over your Thanksgiving. You're in that Christmas spirit, and you never know what we're going to do. right here on the Behind the Mic Show. We'll be right back after these messages. Tax time means savings time at Ford of Tuscola. The Behind the Mic Show and Ford of Tuscola have teamed up to save you an extra $250 on your next vehicle purchase just by being a listener. They have a great selection of both new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs starting at $24.95. Mention the Behind the Mic Show when you stop by or email BTM at FordofTuscola.com for more information. Ford of Tuscola. It's small town feels with great big deals.
Welcome back, everyone. With you as always, each and every week, Sling and Sammy, green eggs and hammy, the problem that will never go away. And with me is always, or actually not always, but with me in my heart, in my mind, in my soul, my co-host, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm so glad that you came here to improve the show.
Stone Cold! Stone Cold!
Stone Cold! My God! But no, yeah, found this in Mom's garage. Thought I'd just bring it on home.
That's fantastic.
Haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah, but with me as always, the round bound of sound, the father of almost two, the wife of one. Somehow she keeps him around. I'm not sure. Do you haven't figured that out? But anyway, Keith Gibson, are you ready for hot takes?
Hot takes, I am. Hey, by the way, I just wanted to remind everybody that we do have shirts available. As you see, my Freeman's Tavern shirt. They're available at Freeman's Tavern on sale. You can go get those with our logo on the back. So thanks for them for teaming up with us, along with Hideaway Slots there in 50th, Illinois. Great little bars in Vermilion and Champaign County. Visit them. Make sure you support small business, just like you support us. But you can get their t-shirts.
Loosest slots in town, I've been told.
Right, and the home of J.J. Lockwood.
That sells itself.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
True. If I lived up there still, I'd be going by there regularly because, I mean, the entertainment alone, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, go by and check them out. 100%. Yes, sir. And also, don't forget, we have shirts down home at Julian's
as
well.
That's right.
With Julian's on the front, BTM on the back. They're everywhere. Keith Gibson, they're everywhere.
Right, and if you own a business and want to collaborate with us, give us a call.
Great
we make it simple.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's a win-win. 100%. All right, so here we go. Hot takes. Up first, Mike Tyson, Keith Gibson, stole the weekend, stole the show.
He did.
Entertainment at its best. Some say, some were very entertained. I want your thoughts, Keith Gibson. What did you think of the Mike Tyson extravaganza?
Let's talk about the undercard first, Sam Irwin.
Can we talk about Nate Robinson getting knocked the F out?
He did. Pure and simple. I don't know if that man will ever get back in the ring.
No, still asleep.
Asleep. Jake Paul put him to sleep pretty quick.
Boy, I don't think anybody's seen that coming.
I watched most of the undercard and watched the fight. Roy Jones Jr. was making his money, and that for a guy who said he was training, looked old. But let's talk about Iron Mike. Iron Mike looked about 22. He dropped 100 pounds for this fight real quick and had multiple chances to knock Roy Jones Jr. out if he wanted to. Plain and simple. He had a couple body shots that, hurt me. He looked really, really good, and I think there's going to be more coming down the road. Of course, he made a lot of money on this, too, let's be real.
$10 million.
Plus pay-per-view buys.
Right.
Which was quite a few because it was one of the highest grossing pre-sale pay-per-view.
Yeah, set a record.
Right. Yeah. So, but entertainment value-wise, Snoop sang a bunch of his old stuff. It was fantastic. Sang some new stuff. You had some rappers on there that I had no clue what they were saying or who they were. I'm just going to be honest. But that's what the company that promoted it, Triller, that's what they do. Yeah. So, the one thing that boggled my mind, of course, it's pay-per-view. Snoop was sitting there smoking a fatty like a pimp daddy and singing his songs. And when it was done, he quit singing songs, which, surprise, surprise. Mario Ronaldo did a great job of calling the fights. He used to work for WWE. He left there. He did a great job of that. Snoop gave some commentary. Sugar Ray Leonard. Overall, I thought, I didn't pay a dime. I went over to my neighbors and watched it. And so thanks to HD, who owns Star Limousine, he's my neighbor now, went over to his house and watched the fight, and thanks to him. But, great fight. I was entertained. I'd have paid $50 for what I saw.
You know what? That says a lot.
Right, it does, because I'm a tight ass.
Well, not only that, but that it was worth.
You weren't
the
supposed to
money.
agree with me.
You know what I'm saying? Well, no, everybody knows. Anybody knows.
Oh,
Knows
that's
that's
true.
true.
That's
I mean,
true.
yeah, are you kidding? Yeah. So, but no, from what I saw, Tyson, like you said, looked a lot younger than what he is. He took this seriously. I don't think Roy Jones Jr. did. This was a $3 million payday for Roy Jones Jr. to kind of dance around the ring. He did a lot of hugging.
A lot of
Didn't
hugging.
really want to fight much.
You blame the guy?
No, and you could tell before the fight that he was realizing that Mike Tyson had a different look in his face, like, oh my God, he's got that look in his face. And you could see by looks on Roy Jones Jr. face that I don't want to be here, but I've already signed up. So please, Mike, don't kill me. And so Mike, as had to be the rules, no knockouts, nothing like, which amazes me, Keith Gibbs, because you've seen fights where a jab sometimes will land just right and you're out.
Oh, he had spots where he could have easily
could have
didn't.
Could have done it. Yeah, but Roy Jones Jr. didn't take it because he was not in shape. You know, he could have gotten a lot better shape. The body shot he talked about, he took that one body shot. He was pretty much done. It took a lot out of him. Said it hurt him bad on a body shot like that, which you've seen Mike Tyson in the videos. That's not a joke.
No,
you know, so
no.
he could have knocked him out. He could have knocked him out right there with a body shot. Could have just put him on the floor and been done with it. So for Mike Tyson to show restraint is what is amazing to me. And what that shows to me is he's got bigger and better things lined up down the road. If he could get through this, follow the rules, now get ready to cash in, because he's got Evander Holyfield possibly coming up as a rumor.
Who's 58, by the way?
Yeah, but you know what? Don't care. Want to see it. That'll be great. Mike Tyson revenge tour. Maybe get Buster Douglas's fat behind to get in shape and get some revenge on him.
Not happening.
No, but I will say this. As good as he looked, Mike Tyson, it's a hot take right here. Mike Tyson, and I hope he doesn't get it in his head that he's going to fight one of these 20 and 30-year-old champions that are 6'7", 260 pounds, stuff like that. Don't do it, Mike.
Here's what I'm going to tell you this right now. After watching that fight, I think he can stand toe-to-toe with some of those guys.
Ooh, that's where we're going to disagree. I mean, standing toe-to-toe with Roy Jones Jr., who doesn't want to be there, and then standing toe with the world heavyweight champion, ooh.
I'm not saying he would win the fight. I'm saying he could stand toe-to-toe. And I think Tyson had some of the fastest hands I've seen out of a heavyweight, out of anybody I've seen here in the last 15 years.
Right. My only issue with Tyson is dominant forever, and then when the heavyweights started getting taller and taller, and with that reach, Mike couldn't do much of that. Remember him with Lennox Lewis?
Right.
And things. I think he did boxing one time. It didn't go well. And there was other people that had a much longer reach. And now, of course, like Tyson Fury, people like that, I don't see it happening. Much as I'd watch it, but I don't think Mike stands.
I think it was you posted on social media on Facebook this week about this is good for Mike because he was in a deep, dark place. And so if this gets him happiness and gets him what he needs in life, so be it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a great post by you, by the way.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I found it, stole it, shared it, because there's a lot of truth in that post. Mike's made his mistakes. Obviously, we know that. Went to prison, things like that. And, I mean, had times where he wanted to kill himself. And you could see in videos that he did, in interviews he did. He's crying. Bless his heart, he's not quite right in the head. We figured that out. But this is the kind of stuff that brings him peace. This is the kind of stuff that clears his head. And he's got plenty of money. He's got all the fame. He's got everything he needs. But just like all of us, Keith Gibson, we all have to have something that brings us happiness. Money ain't going to do it. Fame ain't going to do it. But it's the one thing. It kept his mind off of things, getting in shape, having that in it. Remember the Rocky Balboa movie where he said he still got stuff left in the basement, but he had to get out? That's where Mike Tyson is, right?
I just hope he has a good Christmas.
He's got to fight. What's that?
I hope he has a good Christmas.
I think I have a good Christmas, and I think there'll be more fights coming up, and I would never say that to Mike Tyson's face.
No.
But no, good for him. Like you said, looked great. People were entertained. It was an exhibition, but I think more things coming.
But it was good for the American public, too, and this way it brought something different. It brought something new. It brought something fresh that since all this thing, COVID and everything's been going on, that's why people were tuning in. They needed it. They're hungry for it. Instead of Cowboys Giants or Cowboys Redskins, they wanted to see this, and this. It was good. It was great.
And we'll close with this. That shows you there's very few. How do you put it? I guess just stars in this world. There's the Michael Jordans, there's the Tiger Woods, and then there's people like Mike Tyson that, regardless, he hasn't fought in 15 years.
But he transcended the sport that he is in.
Bigger. These people are bigger than their sport,
right?
And that's why people still, because you never know what you're going to get out of him. People remember it from the late '80s, early '90s. nostalgia plays, but he's still a machine. And I saw a picture of him in 1990, early 2000s, and now not a whole lot of difference. The guy got himself in serious shape. So impressive.
It was kind of same way with you. I never know what I'm getting out of you each week.
No, I think that's why people are entertained. It's like, my God, what's the fool going to say next? You know, my mom just does this a lot, just shakes her head.
Well, I get that a lot too from my wife. It's okay.
That's right.
All right, what do we got next?
Up next, NFL. Keith Gibson. You smile, but I think you and I will disagree on this. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers fall short to the Chiefs. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Tom Brady had an awful first half, threw another 2 picks against a team that's won 7 games or more. They put 21 points in the board. Congratulations. Did he make some adjustments and make a second half run? He did. Made it a good game. Tom Brady will make the playoffs because of his last 4 games that are bye week this week. They'll make the playoffs. I said they'd be 8-8. I'll have to eat a little bit of crow, but I still don't think they're a very good playoff team. I don't.
Okay.
I think in this system, and I saw a couple reporters say Arians is holding him back, and I have to almost agree with that. Watching that game again Sunday, it doesn't seem like the same Tom Brady. He just doesn't look comfortable.
Right. And you know what? I agree 100% with you on that on 2 things. Their last 4 games are against pitiful teams. They should go 4-0 easily. They're favored in all those games. They got a week to figure things out with that bye week. They couldn't have come at a better time. Now you got a couple weeks to practice. Maybe put in some different offensive style. Here's my thing. You know what you're getting in Tom Brady. You mold your offense around him, Bruce Arians. You don't try to make it – Tom Brady, it's the dumbest. And now maybe we see also why the quarterback before him had 30-some interceptions is because you can't throw the ball deep every freaking play.
Well, not just that, but the offense that Arians runs is a read after snap offense, which makes it even harder to throw the ball deep because you have to read everything on a dime there. And Tom is a very good guy. It's a very smart quarterback, too. That's why he was so successful. He reads things at the line. And he doesn't have to do that now. He reads it after the snap, which makes, I think, some of the reason we're seeing a higher number in picks.
Oh, absolutely. And he's only been around these guys for 8 months.
Right.
So, if he was in New England around his same people, that would be fine. But like you said, not a great first half at all. Here's a thought, too, Tampa. Maybe not guard Hill man to man.
I don't know about you, but I'm not sure about that. But that was
who thought of that? So Hill had 200 yards receiving in the first quarter.
Right.
And he's doing backflips in the end zone because he's so bored with you, and he's got 200 yards. It's like, so the defense didn't help him out in the first half either. Tommy had 2 picks, not good, but second half turned it around. He threw some incredible deep balls that were on just dimes, which was nice to see. Got close. Defense tried to hold him there at the end.
Second half, he got time in the pocket, too. Big difference.
That helps. That helps. So I think maybe if they do a little more play action stuff like that, help him out, it'd be great. But Chiefs are still phenomenal. Patrick Mahomes, big game again. Chiefs look good, but their defense is kind of suspect at this point. So what else in the NFL?
Let's talk about the dumpster fire that is the Chicago Bears.
Let's.
I don't blame everything on the Trubisky this week. I don't. Now, the interception he threw deep down the field, I don't know why you're throwing into double coverage deep down the field when he's covered more than my biscuits and gravy with gravy. And that's a lot of gravy, let me tell you.
That's a lot of gravy.
But the defense didn't bother to show up. And against a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who still only has Devontae Adams left out of the core he's had the last few years, and still makes plays and still wins ball games. How is Aaron Rodgers not an MVP? You look at what, and people are going to argue with me, Patrick Mahomes has a lot of weapons, a ton of weapons. Aaron Rodgers has diddly squat.
Nothing. And as we talked about before on this show, they didn't help him in the draft at all. In fact, they drafted a quarterback in the first round. So I've never understood Green Bay. Green Bay's front office should be fired along with Chicago's because they've been pathetic. They have been a joke. They have not. You have a Hall of Fame, no doubt, first ballot quarterback who is still lighting up the league, and you give him nothing. It makes no sense. It's almost like, you know what? He's going to get us the playoffs. We're going to get killed in the playoffs because we're not built for it. But he's going to get us every year, and that's just good enough. It's like being a Cardinal fan. Hey, great, we make the playoffs. Then, it's like, what are you building? What are you trying to achieve? So if I was Aaron Rodgers, at some point I'd be like, you know what? Why don't you just cut me or trade me? If you're not going to help me out, let me go somewhere else.
He's making good
around
money,
a team
though.
That will actually build. Well, he can make good money anywhere he wants to go when you're Aaron Rodgers. But nevertheless, they're still good enough to stomp the Chicago Bears in the ground, which that's the thing, too. He doesn't need a lot of money because he owns the Chicago Bears. So not only is he a player, he's an owner. So he gets that money, too. But Chicago just continues to be.
That front office needs gone out of Chicago. They need a total rebuild. I'm just going to say it now. They do. Yeah. And if anybody disagrees with me, you're not a real Bears fan. If you've watched this, you've watched this trade for Foles, who's got $41 million on the books. You've got Trubisky, who we traded $10 million draft picks to get, and number 2 in the draft, and he's not done anything. You trade for Khalil Mack. Where has Khalil Mack been? Has he even suited up?
I haven't heard his name in a long time. And I'm like you. If I'm the owner of the Chicago Bears, I fire everyone.
Everyone's gone.
All the coaching staff, and just like you said, bring in a new GM and let that person build it up the way it should be. And I don't care who you get, but it's got to start over.
I will say this, the defensive lineman, I always forget his name, right in the middle, the big guy for the Bears, and I don't know why I always draw a blank here. He's out, and you can tell he's out because everybody's running the football right down the middle of the
right down her throats.
Right down, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
absolutely.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
The team that impressed me this week, Tennessee.
Ooh, stomp the Colts.
Yeah, and the Colts have a good defense, and they put it to them. Derrick Henry doesn't stop.
Jeez. That makes no sense. Another freak athlete that no way somebody that big should be that good at running the ball like that. Just it shouldn't happen. So, yeah, Tennessee looked really good. That was impressive to see. Speaking of running the ball, a little segue here, Broncos and Saints.
Oh, great game.
Neither one played with a quarterback. One of the worst football games ever put on television. I think the Broncos completed one pass for the day. Bless his heart.
1 for 9.
Used to play quarterback. Yeah, used to play quarterback back in college a couple of years, but he's been a receiver ever since. If you missed it, the Broncos had all 4 of their quarterbacks out with COVID because, as their coach called them, selfish, not thinking, they didn't follow the protocols. One of them got sick, the rest of them were around, so they all had to sit out. So the Broncos go in with no quarterback. I'm surprised John Elway didn't suit up just for the heck of it and come out. And, he probably would have done better than the poor kid that they got in there who was a wide receiver. But then the Saints themselves didn't throw the ball that much either. You didn't have to, And I do like their quarterback, though. I think he could be, if they continue to build around him.
Taysom Hill?
I do like him.
I like him too.
He's a different kind of athlete, that's for sure. So
yeah, he can do a multiple of things. Not a whole lot else in the NFL. I was, the Thanksgiving Day games were. Yeah. So whatever.
As we expected, lost the good game to COVID,
right?
Of course. So it's the way it goes. And I find it interesting, Keith, as we see in the NFL with the COVID, some games get moved, other games get canceled. Some teams play and they bench a couple people that got COVID. It's very odd. It's like there's no uniform decision on how to do this stuff.
Hey, it's just like America.
So, yeah, right. Yeah. All right, moving on. Topic number 3. Phil Mickelson carried a big load.
That's what she said.
All right. Carried a big load as he carried Charles Barkley's fat butt around.
I don't know if he carried him. Did you get to watch much of this?
I watched a little bit, not too much. But
I tell you what, they had a great strategy. They used Charles' drive on a lot of holes because Charles was straight. He wasn't long. But he would put it right down the middle of the fairway.
Just like you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Straight, but never long. But then Phil would hit the approach, and then they would take turns putting. It was a great strategy.
Hey, whatever works.
Curry and Manning didn't play bad. They didn't play great. I will say it didn't have the same feel as when Tiger was playing.
Right.
But I watched it. I watched quite a bit of it. And I enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed the commentary. I enjoyed when they had Shaq come in and talk to Barkley while he was trying to putt, which was absolutely magical.
Those guys on NBA on TNT are so great.
Yeah, they had Ernie Johnson and Shaq and Kenny, the Jet Smith, come in and try to bug Barkley, but Barkley just faded it out.
He's used to that, I guess. I
did find. I think my line of the week of the match from Barkley was, I played with Gary Player last week. He told me I was fat.
And Gary Player's what, like 85 and still in phenomenal shape?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. That guy may live forever. But hey, if nothing else, once again, as you said before, it's entertainment.
Right.
It's what America needs. It was a perfect timing around Thanksgiving as people are just kind of sitting around. I'm sure their ratings are good. Like you said, would have been better with Tiger there. But after just playing the Masters, the way Tiger's back is, wasn't going to happen. So he did one, and that may be it for a while. Did you see where Tiger is going to play with his son in some tournament coming up?
No, that'd be great. I think that's awesome.
Yes, I will definitely watch that. That's going
Would
to be
you
really
tune
cool.
in if Boz and I played a match?
Oh, 150%. Yes. And I think everybody would. That would be gold. 100%.
Well, maybe we do that for a fundraiser next year.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, just put her on there.
Maybe it's me and Boz versus you and somebody else, and we do a match, and we would just record it.
I'm down for that. That would be priceless. Yes,
and we're all mic'd up.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Maybe could be me and Wes Turner. Could be me and Britt Johnson.
I don't care.
Johnson. Bring one of those. Yeah, God, that'd be right. All right. Anything else golf?
Nope.
Relate to?
I'm good.
Good.
Oh, sorry. I gotta get a drink. I'm getting choked up here.
Oh yeah, me too. And folks, that's not COVID. That's Kentucky Wildcats basketball, as they always choke. So Travis Cooper and J.R. Lewis and any other Wildcats fans out there, enjoy these next few minutes as we talk about how you can't spell suck without UK, as they blew it once again at home to Richmond.
The
Spiders of Richmond. And my favorite was our buddy J.R. Lewis, who he didn't see it as an upset at all because Richmond had 20-some wins last year. Kentucky's got the new guys again, which is what they do. I'm sorry, quit using that excuse. You built the monster. Now see how you can do. How do you call it an upset when Richmond's not even ranked? You're ranked 10th, and you're at home, and you have far better athletes than Richmond could ever possibly get. Here's what happened. Once again, Kentucky, you got out-friggin' coached like you always get out-friggin' coached, because Calipari,
is not good.
Best, is a used bicycle salesman. He is not a coach. Yep. Oh, all I can do is bring them in, and they do their 1 year, and they're gone. That's it. Kentucky basketball continues to be a joke. Kentucky basketball continues to underperform. How they still have fans that support this program, I do not know, because it is a slap in the face of every college basketball fan there is. They do not take it seriously. It's all just a factory to keep turning the NBA. Then in turn, they get money for that. We know how this works. This is no disguise, but it is laughable. I love it as a Gator fan. I love it every time. Plus, my Florida Gator football team stomped the ever-living daylights out of you once they took it easy on you in the football. So it was a rough weekend for Kentucky sports, which I thoroughly enjoyed, as you saw. But your thoughts on Kentucky and the showing?
They weren't the only one that it up this weekend, too. Three top 10 teams in college basketball got beat by unranked teams. And it just, I think you put the poll out sometime last weekend about, what's better. And and everybody wins when Kentucky loses.
We do.
Yeah,
yes, we do.
It's true. Yeah. I voted for that one myself.
I just can't. I don't understand. Calipari gets paid a huge amount of money. And what I don't understand, like I said, people that follow this, I don't get how Kentucky fans, are you okay with this? Do you just accept it as is? Are you not tired of the Calipari show?
Well, and
don't you want to win championships?
Right, and that's what I don't get is they think bringing all these top recruits in, they aren't going to have time to gel. They aren't going to have, and then you get them in, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
What happened?
And then come tournament time, as you know, if you don't have that leadership, like the junior and senior leadership that you need, you're not going to win. It just doesn't work that way. I don't blame the kids at all. They're freshmen coming in, you're putting 5 all-stars together and expecting to gel. It just doesn't work. Now, they're going to win 20 games every year just because they're that talented.
Right, but they're not going to win the big one.
You or I could get the same results coaching them that Calipari does, but do it for a lot less money.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah. You want to know how I do it? I roll the ball out there and say, play, and guess what? They're still going to win 20 games.
I'm not a very good basketball guy. Short.
Oh, I'm not either,
big.
But I would still win about the same amount as Calipari does. So, and I could make them lose games too, just like he does. Because if it gets down to a crunch time where you need a good play or any coaching,
yep, shrink up a little bit.
So, yeah.
Shrink up.
Speaking of which, word is you'd like to calm some Illini fans.
Oh, let's talk about the Illini.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing 3 teams last week who Chicago State, Ohio gave you a run. You had to scrape for a win there. You're 3-0. You got Baylor this week, and then you have UT Martin. Baylor, number 2 team in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
The Illini are a good team. They're not a great team. I do not see it yet. I've rode, whatever.
Whatever.
Io is a great player, and I've seen him improve immensely. I actually told Ryan Martin the other night, one of our listeners, one of our fans, one of my good friends, I said, I've seen Io improve immensely over the offseason. He's stronger. He's faster. He just looks ahead of everybody else that they've played so far. But they haven't played anybody so far. But so before you crown the Illini kings of college basketball, Illini fans, pull back the old harness. And let's see what we got come mid-December, 1st of January before we start doing things. Let's get into Big Ten play. Because Iowa's in the top 5. Wisconsin's right there. Purdue's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough Big Ten season if we get that far.
Right. Who knows what's going to happen with this COVID stuff. So far, so good with college basketball, so hopefully that continues. How's Kingston looking?
Kofi?
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston, that's a wrestler.
Yeah. I know.
He's Jamaican, man. No, Kofi Coburn is Jamaican too. I think he's looked good. And the great thing, Adam Miller, the guard out of Peoria, the freshman, has looked good so far. They've got some talent. They're a little deeper, and they're going to be a good team. They really are. I just think we're going to see what kind of team they are in the next couple weeks when they play some tough competition.
And I agree with you. Baylor, what a great test for them. You come out and get a win against Baylor, okay.
Right.
Now it's
right.
legit.
If you
get blown out by Baylor,
right.
Calm down, everybody. So we'll see how they, even in a close game, even if they lose a close game, at least you
But here's my other thing. I'm happy to see the excitement around Illinois basketball again. So Brad Underwood's done a great.
Going to happen around football.
No.
So.
Well, no.
Yeah.
But they've won 2 in a row.
Yeah. Who have they played?
Hey, you know what they call 3 in a row?
That's a streak.
That's right.
But who have they beaten? Who's the 2 in a row?
Nebraska and it doesn't matter.
Rutgers.
Rutgers, yeah.
Of course, Rutgers, didn't they take Michigan over?
Right, yeah.
And speaking of choke, even though we didn't have this on our Michigan fans, you even lost a winless Penn State this past weekend.
I wasn't going to say it.
Your football team is the embarrassment of college football. Once known as the big house is now the poor house. How your coach is still there,
it's recruiting.
I do not know.
It's recruiting.
Well, and you know what? So he's Calipari of college football.
Yeah.
Congrats. You win the recruiting battles, but you don't win anything.
No, I don't think he's getting the right
court
recruits for his system either. I don't think he's getting the
I don't know. He gets like top 5 classes, but then doesn't do anything with it. So you can recruit, and that's why I don't get Keith Gibson. I don't understand about him. NFL, great coach. College, not great coach. So you bring in the players that you want. So what's happening?
But we'll get into that. I think it's a good topic for next week. We talk about, does recruiting, do the people that put these 5 stars and 4 stars really know what they're talking about?
I was going to say, do you rather trust the coaches as they look at players, or do you look at stars?
Right.
That's a good topic next week. Absolutely.
Yes,
All right. Well, are we done with choke teams?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's finish up with this. A little more choking, I guess, from the ownership and the GM of the St. Louis Cardinals. You have a legend, a first ballot Hall of Famer in my book. I don't know about you, but
he's a first ballot Hall of Famer in my book. Yeah, without a doubt.
All right, fantastic. But once again, the Cardinals continue to just screw things up. They are going to let, looks like, Yachty, the catcher of catchers, walk away. As he's got interest from the Yankees, I've seen.
The Blue Jays. Padres.
Mets.
Yeah, there's several teams looking into him. And the catching is not deep right now. Now, a lot of it depends on what happens this week with non-tenured tender stuff. So it could be, it doesn't matter. Yadier Molina is a St. Louis Cardinals. He's been that organization for many years. And me as a diehard Cub fan, as you all know, if John Mozeliak and the Cardinals let Yachty walk away, it'll be the biggest mistake that organization ever makes, because it shows what kind of dedication they had for their players, and they don't really care about their fans. They don't care about anyone, because Yadier Molina should already been re-signed and given that contract like he wants to stay with the Cardinals.
And here's the thing. What are you going to replace him with?
Nothing.
Do you have, I was going to say, you got something better?
You traded away Carson Kelly last year at Arizona. You have nothing behind him. What are you doing?
It's amazing. And it's not only, is he the greatest hitter ever?
No,
not necessarily. But look what he does behind the plate. You're going to have perfection behind the plate.
Billy Ripken said it perfect this week on MLB Network. He is a manager on the field behind the plate. Not only does he take care of the pitching staff, he takes care of everybody else on the field and gets them in the right position. He is a second manager. If he ever wants to manage, he'll be a fantastic manager. I don't usually talk very highly about Cardinals players because I think they all suck. But I respect them, and I really respect Yadier Molina as a catcher.
Right.
What he does, he's paved the way for a lot of Dominicans to come in and catcher, like a Wilson Contreras, like a Gabby Sanchez in New York, and these type of guys. So I'm very passionate about this. Plus, as a former catcher, I know it's hard to believe. But I
Not
enjoy
really.
it. Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
Short, stocky
Yeah.
block. But anyway.
Pudge.
Yeah.
You look just like Yvonne Rodriguez in a lot of ways. Yeah.
But I respect Yachty and respect what he's done for the game of baseball in and out, or on and off the field, I should say, not in and out.
Yeah.
Well, in and out of the U.S. too, because he's done a lot in the Dominican.
Right. And this is not like the Albert Pujols deal.
No.
Yachty's not asking for, hundreds of millions of dollars.
No.
The Cardinals just couldn't afford. The Cardinals made the right decision there. And they split mutually. It was understood that, hey, I'm going to get this money. Fine. And it's turned out well because Albert obviously isn't the same player that he was with the Cardinals when he went to the Angels. So that was a smart move. Yachty's only wanting what, 2-3 years tops?
I think 2 years with an option tops. But here's the other thing, is they're letting Colton Wong walk right now, too. They bought him out.
Gold Glove second base.
Right, you got a Gold Glove second base, and Blue Jays are looking hard at him right now. What are you going to replace him with?
Exactly. Once again, it's, I don't know. But you see why the Cardinals continue to just, so might be time for a change.
But here's the thing with the Cardinals is they keep, you don't see them making these big splashes or anything. They get they keep contending.
They contend, but contending's one thing, winning's another. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to think they've got some pitching's going to be out next year. Wainwright's not getting any younger. Right. He's a free agent too, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know eventually you got to move on. I understand that. You can't get this going forever. And maybe they see a decline in Yachty that maybe we don't see, but, is what it is. So anything else?
No, that's it.
On that top. All right, well, what do we got coming up next?
Coming up back, we're going to come back with our top 10 worst Bears draft picks of all time, right here on the Behind the Mic Show.
For more than 150 years, you've believed in Busey. Today, more than ever, we believe in you. To our healthcare workers, first responders, and local businesses, you're central to the communities we're proud to call home. Busey's grateful to partner with you and your families through life's ups and downs, today and for generations to come. Because as neighbors helping neighbors, we're in this together. Busey, grateful to serve the communities we call home.
Today's episode of the Behind the Mic Show is brought to you by Ford of Tuscola, Bees Trees, Busey Bank, and Morgan's Place. Now back to the Behind the Mic Show with your hosts Keith Gibson and Sam Irwin.
Back here on the Behind the Mic Show after a very in-depth, controversial hot take segment there. A lot of great information we had, Sam. A little long, but hey, we had a lot of things to cover.
That's more than she's used to. Yeah, a little longer than normal.
That is what she said.
Right.
Literally. Hey, but we're coming back with our brand new segment this week, and we're going to have a guest join us next week, I think, if we can get him on.
Ooh. Yeah.
We're going to have our top 10. Mm-hmm. This week, it's just you and I. Next week...
Somebody's getting it out the street here.
Apparently, mercy.
It's like a drag strip out here, baby. Woo, fast and furious.
You living in the hood?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. We got our top 10 worst Bears draft picks of all time. Next week, we're going to welcome in the world heavyweight champion to give his top 10.
Perfect.
Which will be,
and who knows what that'll be?
We're going to leave it up to him. So, yeah, who knows is the right thing. All right, so Sam Irwin, I told you I would take the evens, and you can have the odds this week.
Right. So, and this could be, just so people know, this could be maybe a lineman. Right. Could be a running back. It just could be a variety of things. So whatever we think are the 10 worst draft picks
of all time
of all time for the Chicago Bears, and we'd love the people's feedback as well after.
Yes,
without a doubt. Yeah, what they think. Yeah.
All right, so I'll start with number 10. He was a 2005 fourth overall pick. Cedric Benson is number 10.
And should have been a good one, Keith Gibson. You know what?
Yeah, and now, God rest his soul, he's passed away and died in a tragic motorcycle accident. But that's number 10, Cedric Benson. So, number 9.
Okay. At number 9, I'm going to take a pick that was controversial. Was the number 2 overall pick, and also the Bears gave up a lot of draft picks for him, and that is quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. Number 9.
I don't think anybody will argue with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right, number 8. He was a 5th overall pick in 1998. Out of Penn State, Curtis Enos.
Ooh, yes, I remember that name. Ooh, yeah, interesting. All right, my turn.
Yep.
Coming in at number 7. The Bears chose this person over names like Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, and many others. He was the number 2 pick in the draft, and they gave up a lot for him as well. And sadly, he was benched this year, but he's back. And I'm going to go with Mitchell Trubisky at number 7.
Okay.
Mitchell Trubisky. All right. Mm-hmm.
Number 6, this Bear was drafted 12th overall in 1999. We'll give you a quarterback, Cade McCown.
Ooh, yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. Yeah. Tough one. All right. What are we at now?
5.
Number 5?
Number 5.
Halfway home. This pick, controversial, and you were there, Keith Gibbs. We talked about this. Boy, have we talked about it. Will it pan out? Will it not? Did he have enough experience to be drafted this high? And it turns out the answer to that is no, as we see, interceptions and fumbles and turnover after he got more turnovers in a bakery. At number 5, quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky.
Great choice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah.
All right, at number 4, he was an 8th overall selection in 2001 out of, I believe, Michigan.
Oh, shocker.
Yeah. Wide receiver, David Terrell.
Oh, yeah. Awful choice.
Yeah.
Awful.
Who you got at 3?
All right, number 3. This person, I couldn't stand to watch him play. Thinking of this person playing at this position just makes me sick to my stomach. You hate to see it. Other options are there, but they get injured, whatever. But this pick could ruin the franchise, could get rid of the entire front office, GM, all that because of what they did. But at number 3, I have to go with quarterback Mitchell Trubisky out of North Carolina.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my pick.
All right, number 2. He's
Yeah.
a wide receiver, 7th overall in 2015. Ooh. I think he made him play 2 snaps for the Bears because he was hurt. Knee, hammy, back, neck. I don't know. Out of West Virginia, wide receiver Kevin White. Remember him? Most don't.
Most I think I remember the name. I think so. And here we are, Keith Gibson, the number 1. Top 10 on this top 10 list. Number 1, when you think back of maybe one of the worst draft choices ever, I mean, some names come to mind, right? Like Jamarcus Russell for the Raiders. I mean, just awful. And what do we call those? Busts, I think, is what we call them. Whenever they're drafted real high, they don't perform. They're not worth it. So I looked throughout Bears history. Notice we're not naming a lot of defensive players.
Right.
Imagine that. Yeah. So they do well there offensively, not so well. So we're going to stay on the offensive side of the ball for my number 1 pick. And I know what I've said all along here, right? I'm well aware you are too. So, but with my number 1 pick for their worst ever draft, due to the losses of picks, you could have had Mahomes, you could have had Watson. My number 1 worst draft choice ever for the Chicago Bears is Mitchell friggin' Trubisky. I hate you. I hate watching you. You're an embarrassment to the league. Get off the field. And that's my number 1 pick, Keith Gibson. And that's your top 10.
There's our top 10 of the week. We'll be right back with our Bees Trees trivia and our dumb criminal of the week. Imagine working on your financial plan with an advisor who is as committed to your success as you are. Imagine no more. With Cole Duke at Benjamin F. Edwards & Company, you will receive the informed investment advice you need from experienced professionals at a firm guided by one enduring principle: doing what's right for clients. Edwards, it's a family name long associated with client first service. Now open in Flora, Illinois. Call for an appointment today at 618-508-8050. Benjamin F. Edwards & Company, investments for generations. Member SIPC. Back here on the Behind the Mic Show. Thanks for joining us this evening. Keith Gibson, Sam Irwin. I am in the Clubhouse Lounge, the newly renovated here Clubhouse Lounge, Sam Irwin.
Looking lovely so far.
Thank you. You're down the Cat Palace down in Paducah, Kentucky. Meow. Thank you. I haven't heard that in a while. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Great show so far, but now it's time for one of our favorite segments, one of our longest lasting segments of the show, our Bees Trees Trivia Question of the Week. Brought to you by Greg Miller at Bees Trees. If you're looking for a little tree trim, if you're looking, make sure those bushes are nice and tight for this holiday season so you can get your lights wrapped around it. Make sure it glows and make sure it glistens well.
Absolutely.
You know, make sure you give Greg a call. He can trim your trees too, so you can make sure that's taken care of. He's a busy man, and he's a dad, so we want to support him as much as we can.
And who amongst us, Keith Gibson, especially during the holiday season, aren't looking for a little trim?
Right.
I mean, who doesn't want that?
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah, in the season of giving.
And he's a small business.
And he's a small business, correct. So support your small business man.
That's right.
100%. Yes, absolutely.
All right. So if everybody's ready, our Bees Trees trivia question of the week is, when was the last time the Fighting Illini men's basketball team was ranked in the top 5 in the AP poll?
Ooh.
So I'll give it to you again.
Yeah, baby. That's what she said.
Thank you. When is the last time the Illini men's basketball team was ranked in the top 5 in the AP poll? Give us a correct answer. Shoot us a message, text, whatever you want to communicate with us somehow. Twitter, Instagram. Yeah. Make sure you follow us on our social media channels and give us an answer, and we'll get you a free T-shirt.
And God forbid somebody send us a Christmas card or something.
Right.
I mean, that's a nice way to answer, right? A nice Christmas card, and then the answer at the bottom.
Right. I'm waiting on Max.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on Larry Green. By the way, speaking of T-shirts, for those who ordered the Veterans Day T-shirts and helped us out there, those are in production because of COVID. They're running a little bit behind, but we will have those out to you very soon and get you to you by Christmas. I guarantee that one. So we'll get that taken care of. But Sam Irwin, it is now time for your favorite segment, my favorite segment, and our listeners' favorite segment, brought to you by Bill Atwood and North Wayne Insurance Company in both Flora and Sisney. It's time for our Dumb Criminal of the Week.
Oh, yes, sir, and thank you for that. And as always, if you don't have insurance as you should, you need it, especially, once again, not just for yourself, but you never know what that dumb person across the street might be doing. So prepare thyself.
Hanging lights, fall from the ladder, Clark W.
Right? I mean, yeah, this time of year, Brian Delaney, the driveway's getting slippery. Do you have insurance?
Let's make sure.
Maybe nobody probably will insure him by this point as many times as he's fallen to hurt himself, but hopefully so.
My question for him is, has he hung lights on a ladder yet?
Oh, God. Once again, another pay-per-view event right there. I don't care what it costs. I would watch that. Yeah, great fundraiser. All right, so we are in Louisville, Kentucky this week, and the topic is suspect robs pizza delivery man, leaves money behind. All right, so in Louisville, Kentucky, he may be considered a pizza lover, but Metro Police are calling him a dangerous robbery suspect, and he's still on the run, Keith Gibson.
You don't run with pizza.
I don't know. It was a delivery order. It was a pizza delivery order that almost turned deadly for one driver. The driver was robbed at gunpoint with a shotgun. Metro Police know who the suspect is, but they just can't find him. In more than 20 years of Domino's Pizza, robbery victim Kevin Deach has seen a lot. Can you imagine delivering pizzas for 20 years?
No.
But hey, everybody's got to do something, right? All right. So Kevin said he started coming up to the house I was at, and I thought, well, okay, this is kind of weird. Deach explains. Last week he saw the front end of a shotgun during a delivery. I'm going to have to take that from you. I'm sorry, he said, as he's pulling his shotgun out of his pants. Must have been like sweatpants or something. I don't know. He said, I'm going to have. Yeah, I guess so. He said, I'm going to have to take that order from you, said Deach. Deach says he was nervous, but so was the man holding the shotgun. He started to drop the pizzas because he was having trouble holding the gun and the pizza at the same time. So
it's a balancing act. It really is.
And the shotgun.
Yeah, right. You know, it's like.
Yeah. You know, I've only seen one person with a shotgun in one hand where it works. Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator. That's the only time I've seen it work.
That was sawed off, right?
That correct. Yeah. So a regular one, I don't know. But anyway, all right. At the same time, so I reached over to stabilize them because I didn't want him to drop the gun and shoot me with it. The delivery was made at 2820 South 3rd Street, but a little legwork led police to a home right across the street. It's not smart, but it doesn't surprise me, said Detective James Franklin with LMPD's 4th Division. The suspect is Michael Allen Cecil. He's 18 years old. He turned 18 in March. And guess what police say they found inside Cecil's room, Detective Franklin said.
Domino's
inside
pizza?
the house. Yeah. Inside the house, we found the shotgun, and we found the pizza boxes that were taken from the delivery driver in Michael's bedroom. Police say Cecil got away with more than $50 worth of pizza, but it's what he didn't take that surprises them. You bother to rob somebody, but you don't ask for the money. Pizza deliveries guys always got money on them, right? You commit a crime with a punishment of 10 to 20 years, and you got $51 worth of pizza? That's a dumb crime, says Detective Franklin. police may consider Cecil a dumb criminal, but Kevin Deesh will still feel better when he's off the streets. It is some relief, at least knowing that they're looking for him, that they know who he is, and that they're going to catch him," said Deesh. Police believe that there could be 1 or 2 more suspects involved, and anyone with information about Michael's whereabouts needs to call the police department. So the man walked over the shotgun.
Now, hold up here. Now, I like to eat. I mean, everybody knows I like to eat, Sam Irwin.
Who doesn't like good pizza?
And I like Domino's pizza because usually you can get a large 3-topping for about $7.99.
Right.
On Mondays, you can get it for $6.99. Not that I've ever ordered it, but that's what I hear.
So you've been told.
Right. $51 worth of pizza?
That's a lot of pizza.
A lot of pizza.
Yeah.
You're going to spend 20 years in jail.
For $50.
Hold on, pizza you robbed. You didn't even eat.
Yeah. Yeah. And you did it with a shotgun. So if this guy's carrying, like you said, $51 worth of pizza, he's got a stack. So you could have just walked over without the gun, taken a couple off the top and ran, nothing he could do, and you wouldn't be looking at 10 to 20 for that, but you took a shotgun and then didn't take the money as well. So that's why, folks, we call this the dumb criminal of the week, because it doesn't get much more stupid than this man right here.
It does not.
Wow.
At least eat the pizza.
Wow. I hope he got a good
And
deal
don't go
for
across
you.
the street. Come on, man.
Yeah. Isn't that something? Bless his heart. Bless his heart. So that's your dumb criminal of the week, Keith Gibson.
We'll take a quick break and we'll come right back here with our final thoughts here on the Behind the Mic Show.
Bees Trees, your local ISA certified arborist with over 10 years experience, specializing in tree removal, tree trimming, and with free estimates. Call Greg Miller of Bees Trees today at 217-260-4551.
Morgan's Place Canine Salon has been offering exclusive one-on-one grooming services in the Champaign area for over 12 years, using all natural products, giving lots of love to your dog. Visit www.morgansplace.me to learn more. Morgan's Place, making dogs beautiful.
Today's Behind the Mic Show is brought to you by Kester Homes, North Wayne Insurance Agency, and Cole Duke, Benjamin F. Edwards Financial Advisor. Now back to the Behind the Mic Show with your hosts, Keith Gibson and Sam Irwin.
Wrapping up another edition of the Behind the Mic Show, Keith Gibson, Sam Irwin, bringing you sports, comedy, entertainment. We hope you've enjoyed the show so far this evening. As we start our holiday giving and spirit here on the show, Sam Irwin, I want you to unveil the news. Let the cat out of the bag.
Ooh.
And what we're doing to give back, because we give till it hurts here on the show.
Give till it hurts, yeah.
What are we doing this Christmas season?
Yeah, it's time to let the cat out of the bag a little, for everybody, just a small one. But we're letting the cat out of the bag in a big way right here. So this idea came to us from one Mr. Eric Porter, fan of the show, hometown boy, but a great idea. As we do the tournaments, as you folks know, if you follow us on our Facebook page, you enjoy them. Most of you do anyway. If you don't follow the Facebook page, you should be, because my God, Keith Gibson, voting, sports, comedy.
Yeah, follow our
everything
group.
You
get everything.
I was going to say, good God. So we just got done with the wrestling extravaganza, which was a lot of fun. The finale was fantastic. But now it's time to move on, Keith Gibson, and we will have a new tournament for you people, for the people. And of course, for the holiday season, it's going to be the greatest Christmas movie of all time. You've got National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You've got Home Alone. You've got How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The list goes on and on. It's going to be great. 32 movies. Crazy.
32.
Now, 32. But for a twist on this is, once again, this is Eric Porter's idea, so bless him for this. We're going to turn this into a fundraising extravaganza as well, sort of like an NCAA tournament pool. So what we're going to do is this. You will register with Keith Gibson, which he will explain here in a minute, but you'll register with him. He's going to get me all your emails. I've got it online as well. We're getting high tech here, baby.
We are.
So the tournament will actually be online, okay, as well. All right. Now we're still going to vote on Facebook. Still going to do that.
That's determining the winners.
That's right. You don't have to pay or anything to vote. However, if you want to be a part of what we're doing, you get Keith Gibson your information. That's right. And it will be online where you can fill out a bracket, just like the NCAA tournament.
Would you like me to explain that? Would you like me to explain that now, Sammy?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Go ahead, explain.
So you can visit BehindTheMicShow.com, and under the contest tab, you're going to have an area where you can register. You're going to have to include every single bit of information on this. Your name, your phone number, your email, and your address. And here's why we need this information. And then you're going to choose, after you hit enter on that and send that to us, you're going to choose which level you want to be for this. The same one, let's talk about the levels. That'll be right there at BehindTheMicShow.com.
Yes. Yeah.
If you want to
Absolutely.
enter the tournament and have a chance to win half the pot at the end of it, Samar, what's it going to cost you?
All it's going to cost you is $5.
$5. $5 right there.
And as you said, you will win. If you win the tournament, you get half the pot. So however much it is, you get half. Now, also, if you win the tournament, the other half of the money, you get to choose the people. Once again, Keith Gibson, give it to the people. You get to choose which charity it goes to. So if you live up in Champaign, pick a charity. If you live in Southern Illinois, pick a charity. If you live in Kentucky, pick your charity that you want the money to go towards. So just wins all the way around. Now, if you're really charitable, you can always donate the whole thing to the charity because it is the season of giving. Now, in saying that, there will also be where you pay, you have a $5 tab, just enter. Okay, $5.
Cost you $5 to get in.
$5 to get in. Now, there are levels, as Keith Gibson said. For $20, if you feel even more charitable, the next step, Keith Gibson, $20, you also get a free Behind the Mic Show shirt. How about that? Get a little something for the effort. There is a $50 level where you get a shirt and a hat. Okay? How about that? And then there is a $100 level where you get a shirt, a hat, and a $25 gift card from Behind the Mic Show to spend at your leisure. If you want to go out to eat, great. You want to go to Walmart, I don't care. $25 gift card that you can use anywhere. So there are levels. So if you feel extremely charitable, you also get something in return, which is nice. So that's kind of where we're at.
Because, Samar, we give till it hurts.
Give till it hurts. And this is the season of giving. You can, whatever you want to pick. If it's Toys for Tots, great. If it's,
Shop with a Cop, Shriners, whatever you want.
Shop with a Cop, you name it. There's so many charities out there and there's so many people in need. So be thinking about that as well. Now, the voting will take place on Facebook like always. You don't have to pay to vote on Facebook.
Nope.
This is just for if you want to get in the contest. If you feel charitable, great. Also, once again, you can win half the pot. Who knows? Once again, the more we collect, the bigger the pot. Bigger the pot, and the more money that you can win, and the more we can help a charity. So if you want to just give $5, fantastic. Times are tough, we know. But if you feel like giving, if you can, $20 gets you a shirt, $50 gets you a shirt and hat, $100 gets you a shirt, hat, and a $25 gift card. Wins all around. Wins all around.
Winner.
I'll tell you what.
Chicken dinner.
Yes, sir. Yep. So that's what we've got coming up, starting tomorrow, or actually the registration.
Registration will start Friday.
On. Yeah, and Monday.
And then tournament start Monday, correct?
Tournament starts.
So you have 3 days.
To fill it out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
3 days to register.
That's right.
So anyway, all right. Anything else you got going before we close the show?
I don't. No. What do you have?
Not a thing.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays, everybody. Thanks to our sponsors. It has been, I will say this, it's been a great year. That week off really rejuvenated me a little bit. So I'm glad to be back here. Don't forget you can get your Freeman's Tavern t-shirts, your Hideaway Slots, Julian's t-shirts at those great places. If you are a business and want to become a sponsor of the Behind the Mic Show, contact Samurai either at keith@behindthemicshow.com or sam@behindthemicshow.com or give us a call. We'd be happy to talk to you about sponsorship opportunities coming up for the next year. Mm-hmm. For my tag team partner, Sam. I knew it every time.
No, this is you. What do you need to say?
And be nice.
Right, yeah. Jeez.
Be nice and eat a lot.
Yeah.
By the way, you know what's my favorite time of year? It's Christmas tree cake time.
The little cakes are out, aren't
they? They are. I bought 3 boxes.
Yep. Oh, boy. And so it begins.
Yeah.
And so it begins.
So happy.
Yes.
Anyway, for my tag team partner, Sam Irwin, from the Cat Palace in Paducah, Kentucky. I am Keith Gibson from the Clubhouse Lounge right here in Monticello, Illinois. Have a great week, everybody. Remember, register, give till it hurts. This is the Behind the Mic Show. We'll see you next week. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody. Bye.